What's up, comic fans? It was another exciting new comic book day. I didn't get that many books this week, but I did like some of the books I got this week, so we're going to talk about those right after this. Okay, so welcome back. Alright, I can't say that last welcome back without singing it. Alright, so anyway, let's get into the books. First, I will share this beauty that I got. So this was waiting for me in my pull box. This is the Ron Garney foil Berserker second print, number 1. It is a beauty. I think this is selling for like $60 now. I paid cover for it. Love my local comic shop. So this is a shout out to Fourth World Comics. They really hooked me up with this beautiful book. So thank you. This came out I think 2 weeks ago. So that was sitting in my box for me, and they really came through on that one and only charged me cover. So love that place. They will have my business for a very long time. All right, let's get into the regular books this week. We're going to actually start off with Amazing Spider-Man number 64. Still on my pull list, 64 fruitless issues later. I have not actually read number 64. I do know where this storyline is going. I kind of have an idea of what's happening in the book. I will say I'm not absolutely devastated at how the Amazing Spider-Man has been going. It's not my favorite title though. It's supposed to be an A+ title. It's a solid B minus. Don't hate it. Don't absolutely love it though the way I should love a Spider-Man book. So, if you're a Spider-Man fan though, I say go ahead and get it because you're still getting kind of like that lovable loser Peter Parker. But just the overall stories aren't gripping me yet. So we'll stick with it. We'll see what happens. Love it. Hate to start with a downer, but let's get into Captain Marvel number 28. If you were on my Instagram, I posted a panel from this book that it just made me chuckle. Love it. Kelly Thompson's really doing a good job with Captain Marvel. Here you see Sorcerer Supreme. She's trying to learn some magic because she thinks that being a sorcerer will help her defeat this opponent she's fighting right now, Ove, who's the son of Namor and Enchantress in the future. So she knows that her weakness is against magic. She goes to Doctor Strange. He's like, this isn't for you. Tries to help her. It doesn't really work out. Basically contacts anybody in the Marvel Universe who knows magic, and every time she shows up to the door, they're like, can't help you. Sorry. So, Doctor Strange pulled out this snowy day call list and just called everybody and was like, don't help Carol learn magic. So it's a really fun book. It's funny. It's got some action. There's some good scenes in here, and at the end there's a little bit of a cliffhanger. So we'll see what kind of mischief Carol's going to get into trying to become the Sorceress Supreme. And she does wear this costume. It's a pretty dope costume. So that's that book. All right, we're going to switch gears. We're getting into DC. We got Justice League number 60. Okay, guys, don't kill me. I know it's Brian Michael Bendis. I know a lot of people weren't in love with his Superman. I kind of like the Justice League and where it's going. They've introduced Black Adam and Naomi to the team. They're not quite members yet, but you can see where it's going in the book. It is a little apparent where they're going to go, especially with Naomi being Brian Michael Bendis' creation. But it's a good book. Good. The art is for me. I think it's David Marquez on the art. But I do like the writing. It's not like thick, heavy Bendis. He's kind of light and funny with this, a little fluffy. There are some serious tones. He does write some serious stuff, but he's keeping it kind of light, and I like that. So, yeah, 2 issues into the Brian Michael Bendis run of Justice League. I enjoy it. I like it. So I know a lot of people have not enjoyed Justice League as of late, or Brian Michael Bendis. So, hey, if you want to read something a little different, go ahead. And then also, it's got side stories by the Justice League Dark by Ram V. And Ram V is a really good writer. I actually bought a book this week because of Ram V, but we'll get to that later because his name was on the book. All right, next we got Nightwing. I think this is Tom Taylor on this. It's good. It's kind of following him through Bloodhaven and kind of giving us also like this little relationship between him and Gordon Babs, Batgirl. So Barbara Gordon. So it's not bad. And there's the introduction of a new villain, Heartless, who kind of steals hearts in this, and it just shows that Dick has got a heart. He's got a heart, and then there's Heartless who's stealing hearts. But this book kind of popped too. I think it's like a $10 book now, because of the introduction or the cameo appearance of Heartless in here. So if you're looking for a book that's less about Nightwing beating up people and more about Nightwing showing his humanity, it's not a bad book. Go ahead and pick that up if that's what you're looking for. All right, next up we've got Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors, Rise Up #1. I bought this for the cover because this is an image from the film, the Japanese film in 1954, where he was known as Gajira. So this is Godzilla #1. This is the cover B. This cover apparently is popular too. I haven't seen it for selling too much, but a lot of people are looking for it. So I think it's all because of this movie frame. But that's cool. I read a little bit of it. I did not finish it, but what I will say, it is all ages appropriate. So the kids can read this book too. It's a Godzilla book. It's got a little action, but kids, parents, if you want, check it out first. But it's an all ages book, so kids can read it, adults can read it. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. All right. Next up, we're gonna actually go to just got the Geiger #1. It's like a glow in the dark cover. So obviously, if I turned off the lights, maybe you could see it. But it's a glow in the dark cover. It's pretty cool. Wait, let's see if I can turn off the lights. Doesn't seem to work. Anyway. Won't. Fail. Alright, that was a fail. But anyway, Geiger #1. It's supposed to be a glow in the dark. Jeff Johns, whatever. Superhero. It's a superhero book. That is the second print, Glow in the Dark. Last but not least, this is my read of the week, by the way, guys. I picked it up because I saw it had a little hype, but I saw Ron V wrote it, and I was like, you know what? I like what he's been doing. And like I said, there was some hype. It's Ron V. So I picked up Lila Starr. Right? This is Lila Starr, #1 from Boom Studios. The Many Deaths of Lila Starr. And I wasn't expecting too much. So I read it. I wasn't even going to read it before the preview. But then I started reading it. And I was like, oh shit. I like this book. Or oh sugar. I really like this book. So it's basically, without giving away too much, but I do want to review it. It's about Death is basically getting fired from her job because there's a human being born who's going to basically, get rid of death. Like, people are just going to live longer or live forever. And so the God of Gods is like, in this book, is like, listen, we don't need you anymore at the company because there's a human being born who's basically going to get rid of death. And, your job's going to be unimportant. And Death's response is like, but I bet taxes still has an office, right? Because everything in the world, the only two guarantees are death and taxes, right? So, but it's funny. It's funny. And so Death ends up having to become immortal because she's been fired from being, one of these gods. And at the same time, there's this lady who dies, and she replaces her, right? So Layla Starr theoretically dies, and Death takes over her body. And then Death has to escape from the hospital because they're like, how'd this lady who died come alive? She goes to the ward where the baby, so she's in the hospital where the baby's actually being born at the same time, and finds the baby and is like holding the baby and wants to kill the baby, but can't actually kill the baby. And then the cops start chasing or whatever, and she runs down the street and gets hit by a truck and dies again. But she's Death. So by the end of the book, she's come back again, but it's like 8 years later. And apparently now the baby is like, an 8-year-old child, and that's where the story leaves us. And it's basically, what is Death going to do from this point on? Does she want her job back bad enough to go and, take out this kid? So it's a funny, it doesn't sound that funny, but when you read it, you'll understand. It's pretty funny with some serious content, obviously. But it's a really fun book, and, I think the art style fits it. Wasn't exactly my cup of tea with art, but the art style fits it. I think it's Philip Andrade, yeah. So he did the art. But yeah, no, really good book. So guys, if you're looking for an interesting, funny read that's unexpected, pick this up. Pick up The Many Deaths of Lila Starr. All right, comic fans, that's all I have for this week. That was my new comic book day haul. Those were my pickups for the week. And like I said, I got that one, this bad boy right here, cover price. I just think this is amazing. There's another awesome cover too where he's like ripping out a spine or something, but this one is pretty awesome Berserker cover. All right, guys. So do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna finish reading my books and get ready for next week. Deuces. Peace.